Board of Commissioners, Town of Redington Shores, regular meeting. It's Wednesday, July 12, 2017 at 6 p.m. Please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Mary, call the roll, please.
Commissioner Drum.
Here.
Commissioner Henderson. Commissioner Neal.
Here.
Vice Mayor Capper.
Here.
Mayor Adams.
Here.
Attorney Denhart.
Here.
The first order of business is approval of the minutes for the regular meeting, June the 14th, 2017, the workshop meeting, June 28th, 2017.
I'd like to approve the minutes for June 14th, 2017 workshop meeting for June 28th.
Second.
Motion and a second, any discussion? Hearing none, Mary, call the roll.
Commissioner Drum.
Yes.
Commissioner Neal.
Yes.
Vice Mayor Capper.
Yes.
Mayor Adams.
Yes. Next, the ratification of the bills for May and June 2017.
Motion to approve the ratification of the bills, May, June of 2017.
Second.
Motion and a second, any discussion? Hearing none, Mary, call the roll.
Commissioner Drum.
Yes.
Commissioner Neal.
Yes.
Vice Mayor Capper.
Yes.
Mayor Adams.
Yes. Commissioner reports. We've been cleaning our shop out some stuff from 30 years down here on 174 collection. Hopefully this week is the last for the dumpster. I know there's been some complaints in the neighborhood about the dumpster. We're cleaning out the workshop in the anticipation that there will be a fire rescue unit built in Redington, the North Redington, with using our, hopefully that thing down.
Shut it down. That's what it is.
We're using our place where our workshop is to be an entrance or egress for the new emergency station in that area. Chief Heather Burford is here tonight. Do you have any more on it that you've heard anything? Sure.
Good evening, Heather Burford. I serve as the fire chief for the City of Seminole Fire Rescue Department, and as you know, we hold the contract down here with Madeira Beach to provide services for you. I have seen some preliminary drawings, design plans for the station, combination, community building, number of different services being provided out of that building, but specifically the fire area that is designated as space for fire rescue, apparatus and living quarters and whatnot is quite acceptable. We gave a few ideas and concepts, a little bit of feedback back to the architects through the county, and they've been very receptive to some of the ideas that we have, but I think it'll make a huge difference down here with our response times and our coverage, EMS in particular, our coverage in the 3 Redingtons.
Thank you. I agree 100% with the chief. We've been to a couple of meetings together, and I saw those drawings last week, Friday, I guess, and it looks like it's going to be a really nice building. And along in that building is going to be our maintenance facility shared with North Redington's maintenance facility and all our equipment, which we now share most of our equipment. I think we've got one more piece of equipment that we're going to, it's a bypass pump for sewer systems, and we both own one, and we very seldom have both of that we require using both of them at the same time, so we're going to probably sell one, either ours or theirs, and then go half on the one we have left. And all the equipment would be parked under there with the workshop area for both towns. I think it's going to be a tremendous, what I see of it, it's going to be a tremendous asset to our community and North Redington and also Redington Beach. The other point of business I have, there's an opening on Planning and Zoning Committee for an alternate, and after long hard search, I think I've found want somebody that would take that position, and that's Cynthia Hoyt, better known as CJ, sitting there. She's here tonight. And I'd like a motion to approve that.
I make a motion that CJ's put on the planning and zoning board as an alternate.
Second.
Motion and a second, in discussion. Hearing none, Mary call the roll.
Commissioner Drum,
Yes.
Commissioner Neal,
Yes.
Vice Mayor Tapper.
Yes.
Mayor Adams.
Yes. Did you want to say anything?
Thank you very much.
Well, thank you for serving, offering to serve. Never too short in that. I've lost my agenda, so hang on.
Here you go.
Commissioner Kaplan.
Nothing to
Vice
report.
Mayor Kaplan, sorry. Nothing.
Nothing.
Commissioner Neal.
In our ongoing project for redoing the sewer lines, we come to a standstill with our other lining project because we have a couple of crossings that are still there. And we did get a price, Steve Andrews picked up a price from Miller on a storm pipe we have on Sterling Avenue that we got a price to reline that of like $18,000, and we're going to get into it a little bit and see what we need to do and see if it's, just check it all out. And then we're checking out some pricing on lining all the manholes in town. We just want to get some preliminary numbers together so we know what we're doing with that. And I think that's it right there. I'm good. Good.
I have to say something, sir. Never mind. Go ahead.
If you'll stand up, sure,
Yeah.
if you wanted to add something to it,
No,
sure.
I was just gonna ask,
But you need to get up and state your name and address and
oh, I didn't want to.
phone number.
Social security number.
I didn't want to do all this, I just wanted to ask a question. Yeah, my name, I'll never do this again. My name is John Biggerstaff, and I live on Wall Street, and I'm on the Financial Committee also here. And was kind of curious, has anybody thought about getting some federal help for the storage system, money-wise?
If it's out there, we'll be looking for it.
That's what I was getting at, somebody's gonna be,
Guaranteed.
huh?
Guaranteed we'll be looking for
Okay,
it.
that's all I wanted to find out, because I can do that if we need to. Sorry.
That's all right.
I do have one other thing I'd like to, can I jump on that?
Sure.
We have some traffic readers situated through town now that the county was nice enough to put out for us. So we'll know, we got them on 182nd, Long Point Drive, 176th, and Wall Street. So within about 2 weeks, we're going to have a week's worth of readings to where we know where the traffic, how fast people are going on the roads. And then we'll move forward with what we have to do to fix any problems.
So everybody came to 174th and raced the cars.
You want to put it out there?
We'll put them out there next. They're still,
Yeah, it could, it'd help, yeah.
anything else?
That's I'm finished.
All right, Commissioner Henderson is not here. Commissioner Drum.
Okay, on the library, the Gulf Beaches Library Director Vincent Gadrix, I hope I said that right. His start date is August 7th. We're excited for him to join that team. And I wanted to thank Commissioner Neal in helping to get those traffic devices out on 182nd. He was the one that got them out there, so that's all I have to report.
All right, thank you. And I'm going to go back to my report, which I have 2 reports to give. One being fire and EMS. There were 3 non-emergency fire responses for this period with a response time of 7 minutes 32 seconds. There were 4 emergency fire responses for this time with an average time of 7 minutes 11 seconds. There were 2 non-emergency EMS responses for this period with an average response time of 6 minutes and 22 seconds. There were 28 emergency EMS responses for this period with an average time of 5 minutes 18 seconds. You think that increase was July the 4th for that?
A little bit, yes.
On the police side of it, For criminal courts for this last month, they were down 5, physical arrests up 10, police action reports was down 16, traffic accidents were down 1, traffic citations down 5, parking citations up 5, traffic warnings down 30, ordinance warnings 155, ordinance violations were none, actually. Calls for service were up 5 to 405 calls for service. With that, we'll move on to old business. First is for the fiscal year 2017-2018, approved proposed millage rate and ad valorem tax. For fiscal year 2017-2018, the proposed millage is 1.800. Attorney Denhart. I think there's something there. Oh, yeah, that's proposed. That's it. And so, I need a motion? Right, right, that's what I was doing. This proposing,
Yes.
Discussion.
We need a motion on
Discussion.
the proposed ad valorem
Right.
and a motion on the tentative budget.
so, that's right, that's what I, proposed millage, I will say again, is 1.8000. The budget is in front of you. So,
have a motion on the tentative.
and have a motion on the tentative budget.
I'll make a motion that we keep the millage rate at 1.8000. And a motion to,
Well, let's get a second on that.
okay.
Second.
Motion and a second, in discussions. Hearing none, Mary, call the roll.
Commissioner Drum?
Yes.
Commissioner Neal?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Capper?
Yes.
Mayor Adams?
Yes. Need a motion on tentative budget.
Make a motion, we pass the tentative budget for 2018, 17-18.
Second.
It's really to accept the tentative
Accept
budget
it.
because the final
Make a
budget will
motion
come
to
to you
accept the
a
tentative
little bit
budget.
later.
Right.
2017 and 18.
Second.
Motion and a second, in discussion. Hearing none, Mary, call the roll.
Commissioner Drum?
Yes.
Commissioner Neal?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Capper?
Yes.
Mayor Adams?
Yes. Next, second reading for the advertised public hearing, ordinance 17-01 pertaining to the special magistrate.
Ordinance number 17-01, an ordinance of the town of Reddington Shores, Florida pertaining to planning and zoning and special magistrate decisions, amending section 90-130 of the land development regulations of the code of the town of Reddington Shores, Florida pertaining to appeals from decisions of the planning and zoning board and special magistrate to set forth the standards for such appeals, amending sections 70-2, 70-3, 70-4, 70-5, 70-6, 70-7, 70-8, 70-9, 70-10, 70-12, and 70-13 of the code of the town of Reddington Shores, Florida, to update the terminology of special master to special magistrate, providing for the inclusion of such amended ordinance in the code of the town of Reddington Shores, Florida, providing for an effective date.
Motion to approve ordinance 17-01.
Second.
Motion and a second, in discussion. Hearing none, Mary, call the roll.
Commissioner Drum?
Yes.
Commissioner Neal?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Capper?
Yes.
Mayor Adams?
Yes. Next, the first reading on ordinance 17-02, amending section 55-4, allowing alcohol sales at 8 a.m. on Sundays versus the 11 a.m.
Ordinance number 17-02, an ordinance of the town of Reddington Shores, Florida, amending section 54-3 of the code of the town of Reddington Shores, Florida, pertaining to closing hours for business establishments serving and/or selling alcoholic beverages, intoxicating beverages, or intoxicating liquor, amending the closing hours for such business establishments, providing for inclusion of such amended ordinance in the code of the town of Reddington Shores, Florida, providing for an effective date.
Motion to approve the first reading of ordinance 17-02.
Second.
Motion and a second, in discussion. Hearing none, Mary, call the roll.
Commissioner Drum?
Yes.
Commissioner Neal?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Capper?
Yes.
Mayor Adams?
Yes. Next is public comments. Any public comments?
I do have a new business for that other ordinance.
Oh, okay, I'm sorry.
Want to do that?
Let's do that.
There is one matter of an ordinance that's not on the agenda that I had sent out, and the legislature this year adopted a statute amending the Florida Statute 337-401 pertaining to small cell antennas, and basically the legislature said that most municipal regulation of what's termed small cell antennas is preempted to the state, and as things go to the next level of cell technology, antennas will be smaller, but they have to be many, many, many more of them every so often. And the legislature, in the past, municipalities have been entitled to regulate their own right-of-ways and control where some of these can go, and the legislature has basically said that most of these companies can locate these facilities throughout the town's right-of-ways without the town getting any franchise tax or fees, and without the town having much right to regulate them. The legislation does say that municipalities still can do some regulations such as design criteria and some aesthetic considerations, but of course, no municipalities, or not many municipalities, had that prepared. The governor had just signed the legislation in late June. It was effective July 1st, and so a lot of municipalities around the state are enacting either moratoria or abatements, saying we need to hold off for 6 months on accepting applications for these. If anybody comes in to apply for them, we need to hold off saying where they can go or what the design criteria is until we enact ordinances to look at that. So what I am proposing to you is an ordinance, and this was fairly much copied after Tampa's ordinance, and it's an abatement ordinance for 6 months that just kind of would put the status quo on hold if any new applications come in. So I would suggest that to give us time to come up with some design criteria and regulations to the extent that the legislature allows us to. So I would read this by title, ordinance number 17-03, an ordinance of the Town Commission of the Town of Redding Shores, Florida, imposing an abatement upon the acceptance and/or processing of applications for co-location on existing or creating of new utility poles in the right-of-way to support small wireless facilities or wireless facilities for a period of 180 days, repealing all ordinances or parts of ordinances in conflict therewith, providing for severability, providing for an effective date. And it would be my recommendation that you pass this on first reading tonight and then on second reading at your next meeting.
So if we do a motion to approve 17-03
As read,
as written,
need a second?
I'll second.
Motion is second, in discussion? Hearing none, Mary call the roll.
Commissioner Drum?
Yes.
Commissioner Neal?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Capper?
Yes.
Mayor Adams?
Yes. You're welcome. I think I'm done.
we just found out.
That's all I got.
Okay. Any public comments? Hearing none, the next workshop meeting is Wednesday, July 26, 2017, 6 p.m. The regular meeting Wednesday, August 9, 2017, at 6 p.m. With that, this meeting is adjourned.